This is Joe from the band Suuns.
That's Ben from the band Suuns.
We're from Montreal, so Joe and I know each other from there. We started the band together about 3.5 years ago, and we're a four-piece. You know, it started like any band starts. You know, you meet like-minded people and you start playing, and then things kind of took on a life of its own.
Yeah, I basically just lied to get our first couple gigs, saying that we were really experienced and knew what we were doing, and we didn't, and we still don't, so we're still lying to a lot of people, I guess. Yeah, I guess the first gig we, as a band, ever played officially was at like another festival similar to here called Pop Montreal, in Montreal, and yeah, like I said, we totally just, we just pretended we were a real band and somehow convinced someone to let us play. And it was our first gig. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. We were scared and nervous, and yeah, it went off as well as any first gig could have gone off. But yeah, that's how you get into the business. You lie.
I remember bodies on a Sunday getting colder.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, it's like a lot of bands are like, or a lot of people are just like, oh, it sounds like this and that mixed with that. And I've never, like, none of us have ever even heard of these bands or listened to them. Heard of them, but not saying news. I've heard of them and I've maybe heard a couple songs. I have no idea, but yeah, you know, it's because sometimes we were thinking of like, oh, this song will sound like this, like the Stooges or something, and then people are like, well, no, it sounds like Muse. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess, yeah, we don't know. But
we got a lot of like kind of krautrocky comparisons, which I find is kind of interesting, and I think it's apt. But I don't think any of us really listened to much krautrock, like Can or anything like that before. I mean, we did kind of listen to it now just because everybody talks about how we'd sound like that.
Yeah.
So we check it out, you know? And I can see what they mean, but it's kind of interesting how it wasn't like a direct, it just kind of came out the way it is. And yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like, yeah, you get compared to bands that you never listen to, so that's our way of finding out about this music. So, yeah. I don't know how that works, but yeah.
Zero's QC, it's our first full length. We recorded in Montreal with Jay Slasic from the Besner Lakes at his studio called Break Glass Studio. We did it really quick. We'd like mixed and recorded the whole thing in about 2 weeks. We had a lot of material and a lot of it didn't make the record, but it was one of those things, like we'd been playing the songs for a long time as a band, so it was pretty easy, you know, in that sense to track.
Yeah, it's basically, yeah, we did the album in the middle of winter, so like in Montreal, there's nothing to do anyway in the middle of winter unless you ski, which, yeah, there's like nothing to do. You just play music and made an album. It was like the best time to make an album in Montreal.
Straight up, I mean, it's a varied sounding record, but the sounds themselves are pretty conventional, I think. I mean, it's guitar, bass, drums, and keyboards, you know. There's nothing really doing much different than that.
Yeah, we really like it. I feel like on our album it sounds like there's some sort of tricks or something weird, but like thinking back, I cannot think of something that we were like, whoa, this is gonna be so crazy. It was very like, it felt like we were making a punk record. It was like, this is exactly what we do on stage, so it was, yeah, it didn't feel like any trickery or any sort of special recording tricks were used. It was very, like, we worked hard on like the specific sounds themselves, and we kind of only used like a handful of them at any given time. So I think that's where the cohesiveness of the album comes, is that, you know, only this many guitar tones are used, or this kind of, it's always the same instruments. We didn't use anything that we don't use on a normal basis, like our amps, our guitars, our keyboards, so yeah. For me, it's how quick we made it, and how quick everything around it happened. Like, we went in, made it, mixed it, it got released relatively quickly as well, and to a relatively good reception. Yeah. So, just like, I mean, we basically had 3 years to work on these songs, plus others, so it just happened very easily, which I can't say has happened before with any other projects, or that it'll happen again. But yeah, just on this one, it was very unique in that we really didn't struggle. It was a very fluid operation.
I think what's cool about it is that we really got to do exactly what we wanted on the record, and produce it the way we wanted to, arrange it the way we wanted to. There was nobody, you know, kind of, I mean, we asked, you know, we just kind of did what we thought was going to work, and we're really happy with the way it turned out, and it's getting a lot of good response, so that's always like encouraging.
Yeah, it's nice, man. When you do something on your own, and yeah, it's well received, it's great.
Hey, this is Joe from Suuns.
Yeah, check out our show on Baeblemusic.com.